Injustices, Earth-Saving Grace by Ben Carter. So first off, what is injustice? According to the Cambridge English Dictionary, injustice is best defined as a situation in which there is no fairness and justice. This can come in many different categories, such as economically, socially, and culturally. And these have all caused unnecessary war, death, and hatred in our past societies and in our present societies today. But why is fighting against injustices so essential? According to the quote from John F. Kennedy in the stimulus paper, Moral Courage and Intelligent Disobedience, by Ted Thomas, the Director of the Department of Command and Leadership in the U.S. Army Command, and Ira Shalev, the President of Executive Coaching and Consulting Associates in Washington, D.C. Few men are willing to brave the disapproval of their fellows, the censure of their colleagues, the wrath of their society. Moral courage is a rarer commodity than bravery in battle or great intelligence. Yet, it is the one essential, vital quality of those who seek to change a world which yields most painfully to change. Another quote from the stimulus, from Eloise Coble, a civil rights activist who fought for her Native American people on the Blacktail Ranch in Blackfeet, Montana. What I do know is what kept her going, her passion for writing an historic law and her love for her people. Both of these quotes exemplify why fighting against injustices is so essential in our world. As John F. Kennedy stated, moral courage is a rare commodity and bravery itself, and with using it, we can change the world for the better, as well as passion for what we're fighting against. Both of these combined, fighting against injustices can little by little change the world to be a better place. Gandhi is the epitome of this. According to Eric Blakemore, an award-winning journalist for National Geographic, at the age of 24, Gandhi moved to the British colony Natal in southeastern Africa to study law. While he was there, other Indians and himself were thrown out of train cars, roughed up for using public walkways, and segregated from European passengers on a stagecoach. Seeing this, he created the Satyagraha, a non-violent protest campaign, which he later brought back to India. He fought for India's independence and eventually won it in 1947. My thesis is simple. Gandhi brought three major things that changed the world we wanted it to be. Cohesion among his people to fight for the same cause. He empowered others to do the same for their own injustices, and ultimately corrected the inevitable flaws of society. So first, cohesion. According to Akhil Bilgrani, a Sydney Morgan Besser professor of philosophy and director of graduate admissions, Gandhi made sure to include every single person in India, regardless of their socioeconomic status. This gave his people a greater sense of responsibility for what they were fighting for their country and their nation. And it also empowered those who may have been afraid from the British to come and fight with Gandhi. Secondly, Gandhi also empowered Martin Luther King. According to the Martin Luther King Jr. Research in Education at Stanford University, Martin Luther King used Gandhi's nonviolent protest tactics to help African Americans reach justice, stating, "Christ showed us the way, and Gandhi in India showed it could work." Gandhi ultimately gave others hope that they could as well reach justice in their own community. And using Gandhi's nonviolent protest tactics, Martin Luther King eventually gained independence. According to the National Advancement for the Association of Colored People, President Lyndon B. Johnson signed into law the Civil Rights Act in 1964, officially banning segregation and allowing minorities to vote in America. And last but not least, correcting the inevitable flaws of society. According to the novel Who Was Gandhi by Dana Meechan Rao, an editor and a well-known prolific writer of fiction and nonfiction for young readers, Mohandas Gandhi fought for freedom in India, but he did not fight with weapons. He believed words and actions were more powerful than violence. Above all, he had a simple message: to find truth through love and compassion, through love and caring for others. Think about it. All the fights against injustice before this came with violence, war, and hatred. The Revolutionary War, the Civil War, the French Revolution were all categories of fights against injustice that ended with violence and hatred. Gandhi showed us a new way that could be done. We could find justice through love and compassion, ultimately changing the world. My counter is Hitler's rise to power. According to the National World War II Museum in New Orleans, Louisiana, Adolf Hitler rose to power in Germany using citizens' already evident dislike at the prior rulings of the Treaty of Versailles. Hitler ultimately pledged to Germany that he would restore prosperity, create civil order, and make the fatherland once again a world power. In the eyes of the German citizens, Hitler was trying to help them reach justice. But Hitler had different plans, and vigilant activities sprung up, and he devastated the lives of 11.3 million people, and devastated the world. What can we learn from this? Quetzalcoatl again states, I know I'm doing the right thing. The stars are aligned, the stars are aligned. She stresses the importance of self-accountability. Self-accountability not only for Hitler, but as well the German citizens. As well, again, Thomas and Shilleth from the statements add, intelligent disobedience is essential in creating a strong fight against injustice. With self-accountability and intelligent disobedience both combined, we can create a non-violent protest tactic against injustice that will ultimately create the strongest effect on our world and make the greatest impact on the world. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Ben, how did your research question evolve as you moved through your research process?
So at first I was really focused on why exactly injustice affects the world, but then I moved it into how exactly does injustice affect the world. So that gave me cohesion, empowerment, and correcting the flaws of society, and I really dwelled into those more to figure out how exactly injustice really changes the world.
And what are the implications of your findings to the community?
I would say doing presentations like these, educating the community on how we can effectively combat injustice and how important it is to changing the world. So I would say just doing presentations like these and informing people about how we can change the world and fight against injustice.
Okay. Thank you.